So people say the 15-minute orb strategy is trash. And yeah, it is if you're only trading the breakout. Like in order to increase your win percentages when trading the 15-minute orb strategy and the 15-minute orb breakout is you need more confluences than just trading the breakout. So I use volume profile, I read candlesticks, I use price action, just straight up market structure to help me increase my win percentages when trading the 15-minute or breakout. I'm going to break down a trade that I trade caught a nice win on with just using pure price action and reading straight up candlesticks. So let's get straight into it. So I trade ES, I trade micros, and I trade the New York Open. So on my chart right now, what you're going to see this white line, that's the composite value area high. So the composite value area high for me is just a market profile from the previous month. I trade the current active day market profile, and then I draw one for the previous month that will help me give me like stronger areas, stronger zones, stronger levels, and I can see the bigger picture. And it's very strong because as you can see, price rejected here, price rejected here, and this zone here is from the overnight and pre-market highs that price failed to break. So right now, coming to my charts, first thing that I see is that price is failing to accept higher value. That's the first thing that I'm seeing. Price is failing to accept higher value. So I have to keep that in mind. Right now, price is failing to accept higher value, but you got to also remember that it's not going to just accept higher value immediately and just shoot up. Although we're trading in a different economy, different markets with Trump, you can say something, tweet something, and price will just take off. But right now, just regularly thinking, price is struggling to accept higher value. And that's common because we're at a composite value area high. So let's get this party started. So this is the first 5 minutes of the New York Open. So let's start drawing out our profile. So this is the low. Right now, this is the lowest price that has occurred so far in the first 15-minute open, and this is the highest price that has occurred so far. We're going to adjust as time goes on. 10 minutes in, and now we're 15 minutes in. So now we have our profile. Now we have our profile, not our profile, now we have our orb zone. We have our orb low, we have our orb high. The orb high, ironically, as you can see, is at the pre-market, highs. We have our value area high for current market right here. We have point of control right here, and we have value area low. So I'm going to make this bigger so we can get down into the meat and the bones, and you can really see everything that's going on. All right. So here are the rules. Here are my rules. So my rule is if when I'm taking a trade, it has to break the value, it has to break orb high or break orb low. And if I'm being risky and there is a false breakout, then I can trade it from the orb low to the orb high. But I would need a lot of confluences for that risky trade. So you have a not so risky trade, you have a risky trade. Then when it comes to taking the trade where it's just breaking the orb higher or below, I need for it to break below. If it's breaking orb low, it needs to break orb low, value area low, point of control, and I need to make sure my candle is 75% out of the orb. That's why I have something called a 75% candle. So a 75% candle means that if that 75% of the candle needs to be out of the orb and the wick does not count. And also when it comes to wick, if I'm going short, I do not want to go into a trade on a candle where the lows of the candle is all a wick. That's telling me that price is rejecting that lower value. So if I get into that trade, most likely it's going to reverse. So I'm looking at the charts right now. So what I can see off rip right now is, yes, we're trading below point of control. We even broke below value area low, and we have a crazy bearish candle that just engulfed this previous candle. We broke below this low here and this low here. So we actually did not break below this low here, but we're heading below this low. So I could start to assume that prices trying to make some bullish sentiment happening right now. But also you have to remember right here we have the composite value area high, which means that price can definitely just come down here, dance around, and see if it wants to accept fair value down here and before it heads back up. You feel me? So I have to keep that in mind as well. As some of you guys say, liquidity could be some liquidity down here that price wants to come down here and collect before it head back up. So Let's see what happens. Boom. So price broke below the orb low. Let's break it all down. Price broke. It's trading right now below point of control. It broke below value area low, below orb low, and it broke below this composite value area high. But and it looks like the majority of the candle is outside. But look at this crazy wick. This crazy wick right here. So this to me doesn't really count as a 75% candle because it's closing with a lower wick. That's almost half the candle. So for me, I cannot take this trade. I cannot take this trade. So in order for me to take this trade, is I need for the candle to break this low right here, the lowest part of the candle, and close below it. That's the only way I can take this trade. So we're going to keep going until that happens. Next candle. So what happens? The next candle, as you can see right here, it breaks the low of the candle, the previous candle, but doesn't close below it. Doesn't close below it, and it's more than a 75% candle because the whole candle opened and closed outside of the orb. But I'm not going to take a trade where a majority of the candle, if I'm going short, the majority of the candle is a lower wick. That's telling me that price is failing to accept these lower values right here. So now, in order for me to take this trade, now I needed to break the low of this candle right here. And let's wait to see if that happens. And it does. It actually does happen. It does happen. But look at what the profile is telling you. So for me, once again, I'm not taking a trade that has a crazy wick right here, man. I'm not taking that. Price is still finicky. So for me, once again, I needed to break price to close and break the low of this candle. And some people probably will be like, "Yo, what are you doing? You're tripping. You missed the whole move already." Yeah, if you wanted to enter here, and what's that? A nice like 6 points. If that's what you want, go ahead, go get it. But my goal is for 15 points. That's what I come in to get every morning. I try to get that, or 10 or 15 points. That's my main goal. So right now, if I'm looking at the profile, we have point of control just moved outside of the orb. If that could be looked at as a good sign, because point of control can be looked at as fair value. So you can say right now that fair value is being accepted lower as a lower price right now. It's outside of the orb low, and fair value is being accepted down here. But at the same time, I need, if I'm ever going short or ever going long, I need it to be out of the profile. So I need it to be below this value area low. And then once again, I'm not taking a trade on a wicked out candle. That's not me. That's not what I'm going to do. That's mean that price is not being accepted at that value right there. So I'm going to sit on my hands to see what happens. So next candle right there, what happens? Yes, it does come down and breaks that come on. It does come down and break the low of this candle, but what happens? It bounces back up. It bounces back up, and that's why you have to be patient. That's why you have to be patient, because if you would have entered on this candle right here, you would be in drawdown right now. That's why you have to be patient. Just be patient. So once again, I need price to break break all this wicked out area and close. Give me a solid close. Give me a solid close, and then I'll go short. Keep going. Boom. Price heading back up. What is price heading back up to? What price is telling me right now that it has failed. Price has failed to accept lower value right here, because I used the composite areas as a bigger picture. And right now, the bigger picture is telling me that it broke above this composite value area high, and it's not sure if it wants to keep trending up here. So it's going to go down here and test these lower values. And right now, it's testing these lower values, and it's not accepting these lower values. So now it's heading back up to higher values. And right now, what we can see happen is it come back up to test this composite value area high, and then test this orb low. So that's what I'm having in my mind, tracking out the trade, tracking out the price action, just tracking out. So keep going. Boom. Now this is where traders get effed up. This right here is where traders get effed up. You want to know why? Because they're going to look at it as, this is a crazy bearish candle. It just engulfed this candle. Oh, look, it followed your rules. It didn't close with a wick. So why not go short? I'm not going short because my first rule to go short is still here. Yeah, it engulfed this candle. It's a crazy bearish engulfing candle, but it still didn't break these lows. It still didn't break these lows. And actually, what happened is it just formed a high right here and a possible higher low. Like, I like to really consider wicks when it comes to my higher highs and higher lows. So it actually is about to form a higher low. So this, in all reality, it could be swinging into on the lower time frame into an uptrend. Let's see what happens. Next candle prints. Boom. Crazy. If you would have entered on that candle, you're in crazy drawdown right now, and I feel sorry for you because boom. Now you're probably scary, screaming, crying. Why did I enter that trade? I should have been more patient. Yes, you should have. Because boom. No, what happened here? What happened here? Broke these highs. No, it's about to form a higher high. It's like look at what price action just did. It's now I'm looking at this as a false breakout. Wicked out, formed a high, formed a higher low. Now it's about to form a higher high. Like, be patient. Just be patient. So some people probably think, all right, now since we're technically transitioned into an uptrend, let me go ahead and go long and ride this trade up from orb low to orb high. You need more confirmation. You need more confirmation. You want to know why? Because you still have this composite value area high and you still have value area, you have orb low, and we're still within the profile. For me, I really like for my trades to be outside of the profile, but if I'm going to trade inside the profile, I'm not going to take a trade at at composite levels and stuff of that sort. So we need to see how it reacts to this composite value area high right here. We need to see how it reacts to it because as you saw in the past, there and dropping below it, it reacted there, but we need to see what happens. So boom, what happened? It rejected it. It rejected price up here and it came back. But where did it come back to? It came back to test the point of control. It came back to test fair value. This is fair value right here. It came back to test fair value. That's what's happening right here. Yes, we just engulfed this candle and this is a crazy bearish candle, but it's still not enough for me to go short because down here, this level here is still active, has not been broken, so I'm not going short. So people who are going short right here, I wish you luck because there's nothing really telling you to go short because price was going to always come. If price doesn't know what to do, it's going to always come back to test the point of control. It's going to always come back to test fair value. You got to keep that in mind. If price doesn't know what to do, it's going to always come back to test point of control. So let's wait. Boom. Whoever entered that trade, they're in drawdown. Should have been patient. Boom. Sorry, should have been patient. Let's keep it going. Now they're crying. You got to be patient, man. You have to be patient. So this candle right here is another candle that will make somebody think, okay, this is a crazy indecision candle. This is a crazy indecision candle. So it could be telling me that we're creating a double top and it's rejecting off the orb low and value area high. It's rejecting off the EMA. So if I have a bearish candle print because it's a double top, like it's a more confluence to go short. Nah, that's not how that works. You need more confluence than that to go short. And my confluence is down here. So you need to sit on your hands and be patient. Just keep being patient. So what am I looking for now? What am I looking for now is I need price to break above here. Break up, close in this area. If I can have I'm looking for longs now. I'm looking for longs now. If I have price can close in this area here, I'm looking to go long. So and what I tell you, if price doesn't know what to do, like we have all these indecision candles right here. If price doesn't know what to do, it's going to come back to test fair value. It's going to come back to test point of control. So now is where I get happy because now we have the EMA dropping pretty close to price, right? So now I'm like, all right, I'm ready to take a risky trade, like real spell. This will be a risky trade. And if price can close back into the orb, I can ride this to orb high, but I need to close back into the orb. I prefer for it to close above value area high and above this EMA. And I would prefer for actually to close above this high of this wick or have a strong candle close in the zone of this high of this wick. And that's when I would like to actually go long. So let's see what happens. Dang, computer tripping out. Come on, let's keep seeing what happens. People would have got a little too happy. Too happy. Come on, computer. We need some more RAM, bitch. Boom. Now here we go again. Here we go again. Now we have people looking like, yo, this is a triple top. I'm telling you, this is how new traders think, bruh. This is a triple top. Look at this nice bearish candle. We have a tweezer top, which is not really, that's not a tweezer top. And we have this nice looking bearish candle. I'm going to take this short. Let me show you something, man. Let me show you something. We are in a clear uptrend right now. I'm about to make my chart as messy as possible. Let's make it green. Can y'all see that green? No, you can't see the green. Let's make it black. We are in a clear uptrend right now. We have a high that's been broken by another high. That's been broken by another high. We have lows that have not been broken at all. We are in a clear uptrend. Sells should not be in your vocabulary right now. Sells should not be in your vocabulary right now. We are testing, if we're looking at just the volume profile on its own, we are testing the heck out of value area high right here. And we're also testing the heck out of this composite value area high. But it's still failing. At this point right now, it's failing to break above it. And it's really more so failing to break below it as well. So if I have a candle that can break and close, a nice bullish candle that can close above here, I'm going in. I'm going in for the win. I am going in for the win. So let's see what happens. Okay. I'm gearing up. Real spill. I'm gearing up. I'm going in. I'm going in. And this is actually where I actually entered. This is where I entered on this trade. Boom. Enter there. Put my stops a few points below point of control, just in case it comes back to test it. And I'm only shooting for like 10 points. I believe I only shot for like 10 points. Yeah, I only shot for 10 points here. Although I had this crazy zone right here, but I only shot for 10 points because I had this crazy zone right here. So I entered this trade because multiple things. We're in a clear uptrend, right? A clear uptrend. We broke back in ORB, broke above the EMA. We also broke and actually closed above the value area high, and we started trending and basically we turned the composite value area high into support. And I entered this trade. It's a risky trade because I really would have liked to enter it with the candles closing above these wicks right here. But I felt like that was a nice bullish candle, breaking all of this nonsense right here and closing back into the orb that I did take. It is a risky trade. I'm not going to cap. It is a risky trade, but I did take this trade. And and just like that, sweet as candy. I'm telling y'all, the orb is not most of y'all's friends because all y'all do is trade the breakout. Y'all don't look at price action. You don't look at candlesticks. You don't look at, I use volume profile now, and I'm still learning volume profile. I'm still learning auction theory. It's only been like 2 months, and I'm still learning it. But you can make the orb work. You just have to make the orb work. You need confluence. Confluence. You can't just wait for a price to break out the orb and then hop in the trade. I know some people trade the orb using 5-minute orb, and some people trade using 30-minute orb. I trade using the 15-minute orb because what you have to understand is that once the market's open, the markets don't know what they want to do. The markets don't know what it wants to do. So especially when you're using volume profile, that's why the volume profile becomes more stable after like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of the market's being open, because the profile becomes more stable, and that's when a trend really starts to pan out. Like this happened at 11:45. You feel me? At 11:45. So like about 2 hours after the market opened, that's when price really said what it wants to do. Like, and that's when the profile will be more stable. So some people want to trade 5-minute orbs and wondering why they're getting banged out because the market doesn't know what it wants to do yet. It does not know what it wants to do. And then some people are taking just any trade. Whenever the orb is broken, they're taking that trade. But what confluences do you have that backs up that trade? You need to, if you're going to trade the 15-minute orb, you need to figure out your own set of rules, your own set of confluences that will help you verify your trade. You feel me? And yes, if you look at this trade, we did not trade the actual breakout. We used the breakout to trade within the orb. So we did not, and we used the breakout and we used price action. We used the reading of candles to let us understand that it's not of actual real breakout. And I will record a video showing the using the profile itself and the volume from the profile itself to confirm whether it's a breakout or not. But yeah, man, if y'all are still here, I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get better at these videos. But if you're here, man, it's all love. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.